Hi there, this is Lucius. Welcome you all. This is my very first video and I'm going to teach you about presenting data and creating attractive dashboards. So I would be focusing mainly upon HR because with my experience within many industries and many countries, I have seen that most of the HR professionals around the globe are not so skillful in analyzing or presenting data. So, throughout this video series, throughout my channel, I'm going to teach you about presenting HR data and analyzing HR data in a much effective way. So, if you are interested in, just join, click the subscribe button, click the bell icon, and like my videos. Within this video, I will teach you how to develop an attractive dashboard by using one Excel formula. Interested? Let's go through our video. So, to build this interactive dashboard, first of all, we should know one Excel formula. This Excel formula is widely used within almost all industries by people who use Excel. But there might be people who are not aware about this formula. So, I'm going to teach you VLOOKUP. So, VLOOKUP is widely used when we know a certain data and we need to retrieve data from another table to fill the data that we want. So, as an example, I have some employee numbers here as shown in this table, and I want to fill up the first name as well as the age to date of these employees. So I have this data in another table, which is my database. So I want to take data from this database to my working table. Obviously, you can copy or you can type data one by one, but it's being a headache if you are going to do these for hundreds or thousands of data. So because of this, the builders of Excel has developed a formula called VLOOKUP. So VLOOKUP is very easy. Let me teach you how to do VLOOKUP before we develop our dashboard. So for this, first of all, as well as all the other formulas, you just type equal and then type VLOOKUP. Look up. So it gives you the formula. So you can select this either from your cursor, from your mouse, or you can press the tab. So now opens the formula, which the formula asks about the lookup value. This value is the value that you have in your hand. So obviously it's the employee number that you have in your hand. So it is the employee number. I will select this employee number. So it is A8. So now what you want to do is to select the data range that you want to retrieve data or the source that you want to retrieve data. So for this, my source will be this entire table. You can either select it up to a certain point or you can select the entire table. So I will select the entire table up to the status level. All right, I have selected my data source, so I will press the comma. Now they will ask me about the range of lookup. The range in the sense they are asking me the column number. So for this, I want to look up about the first name. First name is the second column of this table. The first one is employee number, and you can see the second column, column B. 1 is A, 2 is B. So I want to select number 2. I will select number 2. Right. Now I have the lookup value, which is the column number 2. Right. Now, Excel would ask you whether you want the approximate value or the exact value. Obviously, I want the exact value, which is fails. Right. I have selected fails, and I'm going to close my brackets. Now press enter. You have the first name of employee number 104. Let's look whether it's correct. Yeah, 104. Nick is an employee. So now you want to do the same to get the date or the age to date. Let's do the same thing for this as well. Lookup value is equal. You type VLOOKUP, VLOOKUP, and press the tab. Now the lookup value is the employee number, and you press comma, They will ask you about the data source that you are going to get data or the table array. Now you select this table again, right? Then you press comma. Now the column number is different from what you selected previously. So A is employee number, B is first name, C is last name, which is the third column, and D is the date of birth, E is the age date. So we need to type number 5 because the column number is 5. Right. They would ask the same whether we want the exact value or the approximate value. I want the exact value, so I will select fails and close the brackets. Press enter. Alright. So his age date is 26 years. Now what we'll do is I will just drag this down and fill my data. So this is very simple, and this is VLOOKUP. We are going to develop our dashboard through this formula today. So let's jump into our dashboard. First of all, you will get the normal Excel data sheet. So I want to remove these grid lines first. I will select the entire sheet, go to view, and there's a small tick that you need to untick to remove all these grid lines. So it will be very attractive if you remove these grid lines. With the grid lines, it will be moreover a normal Excel data sheet. So I'll remove the grid lines first. After removing the grid lines, you can develop whatever the kind of dashboard you want, and you can design it up to your designing skills. So I will try to design this. First of all, I will add a title for this dashboard. Just selecting about 3 rows. I will merge all these rows and add a different kind of color for these rows. I would add an ash color and name it as employee data. I would add some icons for my dashboard to make it more attractive so that the person who is viewing this dashboard will get attracted to it, and it will be easy for them to read whatever the data they have. So if the person who is reading it, if the person who you are presenting it is attracted to your dashboard, definitely it's a plus mark for you, and it will be easy for you to convince them with the data. So for this, I will use an icon that I have downloaded previously from the internet. I use this icon and place this nearby this section. Okay, now I'm planning to divide my dashboard into 2 parts, which is the personal information part and the employment information part. For that, I will color this row in another color, which I think light blue will be good. Okay, now this section will be the employer personal details part. Our personal details. What personal details should we add? We can add few personal details which we have. So within our database, we have the employee number, the first name, the last name, date of birth, and the civil status of the employee. So we can utilize these personal data. So I'm going to go to my dashboard and type all these data that I want. As an example, I will type employee name. The date of birth. So this is the first part of my dashboard. You can add whatever the data you want according to your requirement, but just to give a simple idea, I will add the personal details as well as the employment details. So for the employment details part, I will just color this single row in a different color, which I would select like green, make a little bit broad. Okay, I will adjust the height, and this is employment details. Before that, I will merge this. Great. I would just change the font as well, so it would be looking better. Now, as I have added an icon here, I would add an icon for the employment details part as well. So as I told before, it will bring out some kind of an attraction towards your dashboard, and it will be easy to convince the person who is reading the data. Again, I will select some pictures or icons that I have downloaded previously from my file. Something like this will be better. Okay, so for this part we have the department of the employee, the section, the date join, and status, as well as the maturity in the company. So Kumar has joined our company on the 1st of January 2020. He is working in the engineering department, and the section is mechanical. So he's a permanent employee and he has worked for 4 years within this company. So let's add those details to our dashboard. Right. Now we are almost done with the basic interface of our dashboard. We have all the details that we need to retrieve from our main database. So just to get the lookup value, I will add another row and name this part as employee number. And add a little space to type the employee number. We'll merge that cell as well, and it will be different. So now we are ready to go with our brand new employee data dashboard. Now it's time to retrieve the data. So I will type our formula which we just went through before, the VLOOKUP formula. It is very easy to obtain data from the VLOOKUP formula, as we have studied already. Equals VLOOKUP and tab. The lookup value is for this cell, so whatever we type here will appear, or the data will appear within the places that we want. So the lookup cell will be C4, comma, the table array will be our dashboard, our database. What we need is the first name, so it is not the first column but the second column, so I will type 2, then comma, and I want the exact match, close brackets, and type enter. I will do the same for each criteria that we want to retrieve data. Now I have completed the employee data part with our VLOOKUP formula, and I'm going to do the same for the employment details part as well. So we have almost finished our dashboard. I have added the same basic VLOOKUP formula for each of my criteria that I want to retrieve. Let's see whether this is working. So I want to retrieve data of a certain employee. Let's get this 101 Kumar Janaka. So let's see whether his data is showing in our dashboard. 101 and enter. Yes, his personal data is retrieving and it's showing in our dashboard. Now to do some simple changes for the age, I just want it to be shown in just a whole number. So I'll remove the decimals, and the maturity also. Now, to identify the data and the criteria clearly, I will change these results, uh, the text into a different color. Believe that this would be better. So all with your selections, so you can make your selections in a different manner and develop your dashboards according to a very attractive way. It can be different from this setup, so just try to develop your own setup after getting the basic idea from this video. So this is our dashboard. You can either print this and give to your manager, you can mail this, you can show this. So this is a very basic dashboard data presentation that you can use within your HR life, day-to-day life. You can retrieve data from the database and just present it. If you have any questions, just type it below in the comment section, and I will be more than happy to answer those questions as well. So I think you got a clear idea about the VLOOKUP formula as well as developing a dashboard throughout the VLOOKUP formula.